Let me ask you something. What's the worst financial decision you've ever made? A bad investment? A dodgy business deal? I'll tell you what beats them all. Buying the wrong car. We're not talking about a minor inconvenience. We're talking about a vehicle that drains your bank account, strands you on the highway, and drops in value faster than your faith in the dealership that sold it to you. Today, I've done the homework so you don't have to. Using data straight from Consumer Reports, one of the most trusted names in automotive research, I've compiled 15 cars you absolutely should not buy. Some of these will surprise you. Some of them look incredible on paper. And the one at the very end, it's so unreliable. It's practically a subscription service for your mechanic. Stay with me to the end, because this isn't just a list. It's a blueprint for protecting your money. Let's get into it. We open with something that looks innocent enough. The Buick Encore. On the surface, not a bad pitch. It's compact, comfortable, easy to park, and priced at around $26,000. For city drivers who want something manageable, it ticks a few boxes. But here's where it starts to unravel. Pop the hood and you'll find a 1.4-liter turbocharged engine that feels like it has the ambition of a golf cart. Merging onto a highway? You better plan ahead, because this engine is not in a hurry. Passing someone at speed? Pray for a downhill slope. Owners consistently report issues with the transmission, air conditioning, and electrical systems, a trio of problems that can pile up into thousands of dollars in repairs before you know it. The infotainment system is clunky and outdated. Modern safety features that come standard on competitors are either missing or overpriced add-ons. And there have been multiple recalls involving the powertrain and even airbag and seatbelt systems. Safety recalls on a family car. At 25 miles per gallon, the fuel economy is decent, but it doesn't save a car that's falling apart in every other department. The Encore offers just enough appeal to lure you in and just enough problems to make you regret it. Next up, the Volkswagen Jetta. Starting at just under $22,000, it's been marketed as the sophisticated European sedan that won't break the bank. Except it might break everything else. Models from 2019 to 2021 are particularly notorious. Transmission failures, engine stalling, and electrical gremlins are common complaints. Owners who bought these vehicles expecting German engineering precision found themselves making frequent, expensive trips to the shop instead. Older models aren't off the hook either. The 2009 Jetta became infamous for its DSG gearbox transmission issues. The 2006 had engine misfires and fuel pump failures. The 2003 brought power window and ignition coil nightmares. Recalls have flagged defective fuel lines and airbag malfunctions, which raises serious questions about safety at a price point that should guarantee at least the basics. Now, in fairness, some owners love the smooth ride, and fuel economy at 30 miles per gallon is genuinely good. But when you dig into the long-term ownership data, the Jetta's cheap interior materials and persistent reliability problems tell a different story. A stylish face with a troubled history. If you want a reliable compact sedan, there are better options at this price, and we'd recommend finding one. Now we step into premium territory with the Volvo XC60, a compact SUV starting at $53,000. Volvo's brand identity is built on safety. They've spent decades crafting the image of the most responsible car on the road, and to their credit, the XC60 does boast impressive safety ratings. But here's what the brochure doesn't tell you. The 2024 model alone was hit with 3 major recalls. Transmission problems and engine stalling are recurring complaints across multiple model years. The infotainment system, which at this price should be flawless, frequently fails. Even the driver assist features, the very technology meant to make you feel safer, have been reported to malfunction. Fuel efficiency sits at 22 miles per gallon combined, barely average for its class, which feels like an insult at this price point. Maintenance costs are steep, repair bills climb fast, And despite the beautiful Scandinavian interior, the XC60 struggles to deliver the kind of long-term dependability you expect when you're spending north of 50 grand. If you want safety, you deserve both a safe car and one that doesn't keep your mechanic on speed dial. Unfortunately, the XC60 only delivers one of those things consistently. Car number 12, Chevrolet Blazer. The Chevrolet Blazer makes a strong first impression. Bold styling, decent tech features, the Chevy name. At roughly $44,000, it positions itself as a serious mid-range SUV contender. But once you peel back the surface, the problems stack up fast. 2020 and 2021 models in particular are plagued with engine stalling and electrical failures, two things you really don't want happening simultaneously on the interstate. Consumer Reports flags its reliability as well below the class average, and crash test results haven't impressed either. Fuel economy, 20 miles per gallon. For a vehicle at this price, in this class, that's underwhelming. And rapid depreciation means you'll feel the financial hit long after you drive it off the lot. Insurance premiums run high, repair costs are steep, and the driving experience itself, particularly the ride comfort and cabin refinement, lags behind competitors like the Ford Edge and Honda Passport. The Blazer wants to be a premium choice. It has the looks for it. But under the surface, it consistently fails to back up the price tag with the performance and reliability buyers deserve. Here's a car that should be a home run: the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. A family minivan with an 82 miles per gallon equivalent rating, a $7,500 federal tax credit, quiet ride, spacious interior, and starting at around $44,000 after incentives, it looks like the perfect eco-conscious family hauler. On paper. In real life, this car is a reliability disaster wrapped in good intentions. The 2021 model was plagued with problems: EV battery failures, frozen screens, malfunctioning battery warmers, and charging systems that simply didn't work reliably. Dealers couldn't fix them. Owners were left stranded, literally unable to charge a car they'd bought specifically to plug in. Then came 2023, and Chrysler recalled over 67,000 Pacifica hybrids from the 2017 to 2023 model years due to a defective wiring connector in the transmission that could cause the engine to stall or shut off unexpectedly while driving. Let that sink in. For a family vehicle, one that parents are putting their children in every single day, this is unacceptable. Chrysler's broader reputation for long-term dependability is already shaky, and the Pacifica Hybrid does nothing to help it. The concept is brilliant. The execution is a cautionary tale. Car number 10, Ford Bronco. The Ford Bronco is genuinely cool, I'll give it that. The retro design turns heads everywhere it goes. The off-road trims are legitimately capable. And for outdoor enthusiasts, there's real emotional appeal in owning one. Prices start at $39,600 and climb all the way to the Raptor at over $79,000. But enthusiasm doesn't excuse the problems, and the Bronco has plenty. Reliability has been a persistent issue, though. 2021 to 2023 Bronco Sport models were affected by a cracked fuel injector recall, one that posed a genuine fire risk. That's not a minor inconvenience. That's a safety emergency. V6 engines have shown valve train issues that reduce performance. The transmission has drawn complaints. And the interior, cabin materials feel cheap and rattle-prone. Surprising for a vehicle in this price bracket. The removable roof, a signature feature, can be frustratingly difficult to reinstall. On the highway, the Bronco is genuinely uncomfortable. The ride is harsh, the cabin is loud, and the experience makes you wonder if it was designed exclusively for dirt roads. Fuel economy averages 17 miles per gallon, which, for daily driving, adds up quickly. The Bronco is a trail star and a street disappointment. If your life is spent off-road, maybe it's worth it. If you're driving to work 5 days a week, look elsewhere. Car number 9, Dodge Durango. The Dodge Durango is genuinely impressive in some areas. Best-in-class towing at 8,700 pounds, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds with the V8. Comfortable, quiet cabin, generous cargo space. Starting at $40,000 with the SRT Hellcat model approaching $115,000, it spans a wide range. So what's the problem? Fuel economy is brutal, 15 miles per gallon with the V8. In a world of rising fuel costs, that's a significant ongoing expense. Engine failures and exhaust manifold issues, including that distinctive ticking noise, have been reported across multiple model years. Safety scores fall below average for its class, and several key active safety features are absent or only available as expensive upgrades. Maintenance costs are high. Resale value is poor, and while it performs impressively in straight-line scenarios, the Durango's bulk makes everyday city and suburban driving feel cumbersome compared to more refined three-row SUVs. For towing contractors or performance enthusiasts who've budgeted for its thirst at the pump? Understandable choice. For the average family buyer expecting a well-rounded, cost-effective SUV, the hidden costs will catch you off guard. Car number 8. Jeep Wrangler. Look, the Jeep Wrangler is an icon. I understand the appeal completely. It represents freedom, adventure, and a certain rugged individuality that no other vehicle quite replicates. Starting at $33,000, it seems like a reasonable entry point into that lifestyle. But consumer reports and tens of thousands of owners have spoken, and the data is hard to argue with. Electrical problems are widespread. Rust appears prematurely, even on relatively new models in northern climates. Engine noise is a persistent complaint. The steering has been described by many owners as vague and wandering, which is not what you want to hear about a vehicle you're piloting at highway speed. Recalls have covered faulty fuel lines, airbag defects, and structural cracks in certain models. The ride on paved roads is genuinely uncomfortable. The firm suspension designed for rocks and trails translates to a punishing experience on the daily commute. Storage space is limited. Fuel economy averages 19 miles per gallon, one of the worst in its class. And depreciation hits hard, particularly on high mileage examples, meaning many owners find themselves owing more than the car is worth. If you regularly go off-roading, the Wrangler earns its reputation in the dirt. But for the vast majority of buyers who will spend 90% of their time on regular roads, the daily driving compromise is steep. Car number 7, Nissan Frontier. The Nissan Frontier has a loyal following, and I respect that. Starting at $29,000, it's one of the more affordable entries in the mid-size truck segment. But loyalty doesn't always reflect reality, and the Frontier's history is messy. Models from 2005 to 2010 and 2013 to 2018 are the most problematic. Transmission failures, engine issues, and defective airbags are the main culprits. Paint chipping and faulty fuel systems add insult to injury. Recalls on airbag and brake components have compounded trust issues over the years. The 2022 redesign did improve things meaningfully. Smoother ride, more modern interior, better technology. But even the updated Frontier still trails competitors like the Toyota Tacoma and Ford Maverick in overall value and refinement. Fuel economy at 18 miles per gallon is disappointing for a truck in this era. And here's the final note. Frontier production was winding down. Operations were cut before its planned end in March 2025. That means parts availability and dealer support will only become more of a concern going forward. If you want a no-frills, budget-conscious truck and know exactly what you're getting, the Frontier might serve you. But go in with open eyes. Car number 6, Lincoln Aviator. The Lincoln Aviator arrives dressed for luxury, starting around $53,000 and climbing to $88,000 for the black label trim. It promises the premium SUV experience Ford's luxury brand has been chasing for years. It doesn't deliver. 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2024 models have all faced recalls for serious issues, including electrical system failures and faulty airbags. Those aren't minor inconveniences. They are fundamental failures for a vehicle in this price bracket. Fuel economy comes in at just 18 miles per gallon combined, lower than the Chevrolet Blazer we discussed earlier, and dramatically below what competitors like the BMW X5 and Audi Q7 achieve. Performance and driving dynamics have also been widely criticized as falling short of European rivals. For the money you're spending, you expect world class. What you get is frequently just adequate. Lincoln deserves credit for trying to re-establish itself as a genuine luxury brand. But the Aviator represents the gap between aspiration and execution. When you're paying near BMW money, you should not be accepting BMW's rejects in terms of reliability and performance. Hard pass. Car number 5. Jaguar F-Pace. The Jaguar F-Pace is stunning. I won't lie. Starting at $58,300, it turns heads like few other SUVs on the road. The design is genuinely beautiful. The performance in the right trims is exhilarating, and sitting inside one feels special when it's running. That's the catch. Electrical problems, particularly in the infotainment system, are among the most widely reported issues across F-Pace ownership forums. Excessive oil consumption and failing fuel pumps appear even in newer, low-mileage models. A recall for faulty brake systems raised direct safety flags. One reviewer summarized the F-Pace ownership experience perfectly. "It drives like a dream when it's not in the shop." The 2023 What Car? Reliability survey ranked the F-Pace in the bottom third of large SUVs. Jaguar overall ranked 29th out of 32 manufacturers, sitting below Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. That's a damning indictment for a brand that sells on prestige. If you buy an F-Pace, budget generously for repairs. And if reliability and long-term value are priorities, there are several luxury SUVs in this price range that will serve you far better. Car number 4. Polestar 2. Electric vehicles are the future. The Polestar 2 wants to be a stylish, sophisticated part of that future. Priced at $49,900, it blends sedan design with hatchback practicality and a raised crossover seating position. In concept, it's one of the more interesting EVs on the market. In practice, it struggles. Owners report frequent glitches in the Google-powered infotainment system. Ironic for a car that's supposed to represent cutting-edge technology. The EPA estimated range of 270 miles lags noticeably behind competitors like the Tesla Model 3, which matters enormously for real-world EV usability. 2021 and 2022 models faced recalls for battery problems that could shut down the high-voltage system entirely. That's not a software bug. That's a fundamental safety concern. The ride is stiff, not what you'd expect from a near $50,000 vehicle that carries the word luxury in its marketing DNA. Service centers are sparse, and when something goes wrong, getting it fixed can be a lengthy, frustrating ordeal. The Polestar 2 has genuine potential, and newer model years have improved. But as a current purchase, the reliability record and the competitive disadvantage in range make it a difficult recommendation against better established rivals. Car number 3. Land Rover Range Rover. Sport. Let's talk about the Range Rover Sport. Because no worst cars conversation is complete without Land Rover making an appearance. The interior is genuinely spectacular. Soft leather, ambient lighting, a cabin so quiet you could record a podcast in it. The turbocharged 6-cylinder engine is quick and refined. The twin-turbo V8 option delivers 530 horsepower. It carries a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. And the price? The 2025 model starts at $85,100. The autobiography trim hits $114,200. The first edition, $121,500. You are paying flagship money. Now here's where it gets painful. Consumer Reports consistently flags the Range Rover Sport for some of the highest maintenance costs in the entire SUV segment. The complexity of its systems, the air suspension, the terrain management electronics, the layered technology, means that when something goes wrong, it goes expensively wrong. The worst years were 2006 to 2008 and 2013, where engine, transmission, and electrical failures were so severe and costly that owners frequently described ownership as a second mortgage. Qualified technicians who can service these vehicles properly are not cheap and not everywhere. Regular, disciplined maintenance is non-negotiable. Skip a service interval, and you may be facing a 5-figure repair bill. The Range Rover Sport is a magnificent machine when everything is working. But the ownership experience demands patience, proximity to a good Land Rover dealer, and a very deep wallet. For most buyers, there are more reliable luxury SUVs at this price, and that's the truth the brochure won't tell you. Car number 2, GMC Sierra 1500. The GMC Sierra 1500 is priced between $38,945 and $86,900, depending on trim. It's a full-size truck with genuine towing capability and a comfortable interior in the upper trims. So, what's the problem? Models from 2014 to 2019 are particularly troublesome. Transmission failures, engine trouble, faulty electronics, and steering component issues have all been documented extensively by owners. Recalls have flagged brake system failures and fire risks associated with the engine block heater, both serious safety concerns. Fuel economy averages 17 miles per gallon, low even for a full-size truck in today's market. Insurance costs run high, and the ongoing repair bills make total ownership cost significantly more than the sticker price suggests. Here's what stings the most. Consumer Reports itself notes that the Chevy Silverado 1500, essentially the same platform, has better towing capacity and stronger reliability scores than the Sierra. So if you want a GM truck, you're already buying the wrong one. The Sierra looks the part. The marketing is slick, but the data tells a clear story. There are better full-size trucks available for this money. And if you're in the market for one, the Sierra should not be at the top of your list. And here we are. Number 1 on the list, the single most problematic purchase you can make in today's car market, the Mitsubishi Mirage. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's the cheapest new car you can buy. How bad can it really be? That's exactly the trap. The Mirage's 3-cylinder engine is weak, loud, and vibrates noticeably, a combination that makes every drive feel like operating industrial equipment. Acceleration is genuinely sluggish in a way that creates real safety concerns during highway merges and passing maneuvers. Handling is clumsy. The interior materials feel as though cost was cut at every possible opportunity. The IHS Small Overlap Crash Test, one of the most demanding safety evaluations in the industry, gave the Mirage poor marks. For the budget buyer who thinks they're getting a bargain, this is sobering information. Recalls have compounded the safety picture. The internal acceleration sensor in the supplemental restraint system can misread vibrations, causing airbags to fail to deploy in a crash. The airbags might not work when you need them most. Some 2018 models have screeching brakes. Air conditioning failures and transmission problems have appeared in recent model years as well. And the maintenance costs. Over the first 10 years of ownership, average repair costs come in at around $5,135. Higher than vehicles that cost significantly more up front. The Mirage is proof that cheap and affordable are not the same thing. Mitsubishi has discontinued the Mirage for the US market. There is no 2025 model, and while that eliminates future sales, it also means that parts, dealer support, and resale value will only deteriorate from here. The Mirage doesn't just disappoint, it fails at the one job it set out to do: be a responsible, accessible entry point into car ownership. Instead, it creates a cycle of repairs, safety concerns, and diminishing returns. Avoid it entirely.